Does a full Ukrainian military mobilization mean? For that answer, we are joined now by retired Lieutenant General Richard Newton. He previously served as Vice Chief of Staff for the U.S. Air Force. Thank you so much for being with us once again. President Biden says troops won't deploy, but what will they do? Or rather, they won't fight. Let me correct myself. They won't fight.
You bet. Sure. And good morning. A very dynamic situation. Let me go back to Mick at the board. Exceptional reporting, by the way, on all fronts. What you're seeing right now is you're seeing really the center of effort, what we call in strategic military planning, the center of gravity. It's now the capital of Kyiv, with the ultimate aim to take down the government, certainly to take down President Zelenskyy and his cabinet. And so that's what's happening right now on the ground there, and the horrors of war coming into our front living rooms, as you've reported. With regard to the deployment of additional troops that President Biden called up yesterday, there's 7,000 more troops on the way. We've already put other additional troops have deployed to Europe. So the total deployment of troops right now is at 12,000 on top of 80,000 troops, men and women who are serving in Europe as we speak this morning. So it's significant in terms of the deployment. The deployment of these troops coming out of Fort Bragg and Fort Stewart is to bolster our positions, our defensive positions in NATO, but it's also to reassure our allies that the United States is committed yesterday, committed today, and committed tomorrow, certainly with the additional deployment of these troops. Also, we have deployed fighter aircraft and bomber aircraft. We have B-52s at Fairford, England. We've got the F-35s positioned in Europe, to include in the Baltic states. So we now have fighter aircraft not only in Germany, but in Poland, in Estonia, in Lithuania, Romania. And so, again, for defensive purposes, well, we've got to be very clear here. Ukraine is not a member of NATO. We unfortunately see these scenes come across our screens, but nonetheless, we're doing everything we can short of putting troops on the ground, which I do not foresee in any stretch in Ukraine. But it's a tremendous fight. The Ukrainian people have demonstrated tremendous resolve and determination, and this may be a tough fight. Even though they're outmanned by the Russian army, it's going to be a tough fight for Putin because of this resistance we're seeing at this point. Not only politically from President Zelenskyy. Notice my sources tell me he still remains in the capital, even though he is high-value target number one. We call that HVT number one. And he's also mentioned in numerous reports that his family is also part of the high-value targeting of the Russians. Yeah. So a lot to unwrap here. But again, you're seeing war unfold. It's now going from, here, obviously they'll continue with the airstrikes. They'll continue with the ballistic missile strikes. We've reported yesterday 160 ballistic missiles. But now you're going to hear small arms fire in the city of Kyiv. You're going to see the Russian army having encircled Kyiv, but now going in and try to take the center of the government.
And that's what we've been hearing has intensified there in the capital. Thank you so much for joining us once again. We want to go now to Andre. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.